Hey, this is Tubbs cutting in before the episode. I just wanted to let you guys know real quick that we had some technical difficulties on this episode. I think we had some demons in the wiring, but we're hoping that you guys still enjoy the show, and I think we got the problems figured out, so we won't have to deal with this again. But I just wanted to come on and apologize, and, our special guest, Dr. Doug Herty, you can't hear his audio all that well, and there is some interference going on in the background, but like I said, I think we figured these problems out for the next episode, and hopefully we won't have them anymore, and we won't have to have these demons. We might have to call Bubba Elroy on this if it keeps happening. Yeah, enjoy the show. Sorry about the problems.
And sets another day. Billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Bones and Tubs.
Back again.
We're back again the day after May Day.
The first day you'll ever hear Dr. Doug Herty on the new microphone. It's Milky.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the new audio? Ooh-wee. Sounds good.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's a pretty good time.
I'd say it's a pretty sexy time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're back for another episode of Bones and Tubs. We're here to give you that knowledge that you've been craving all week. And we're going to get started here in just a minute. Anything going on in the news here lately, fellas, other than May Day, of course?
Trump is a cuck.
Yeah, well, aren't we all to an extent? Apparently, according to certain individuals that lean even further than me, I'm a cuck as well.
Well, I think that's the problem with society right now, is everybody is right and nobody's right. At the same time, we're all cucks.
And that's one of those things where I think ultimately what's going to end up happening is, like I said on a previous episode, is that cuck will go the wayside, because now we're all cucks.
Yeah. It's overused.
I predicted that. That was the Tubbs original prediction.
What about the people who are still alive?
Cucks.
Yeah.
All of them.
They refuse to accept the fact.
That's probably what happened when, did you watch the video of that kid describing how CERN destroyed our reality and slid us over into another universe?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So
we're in the cuck life now.
Here's the thing. Okay, so if that's true and CERN, okay, so you know what that would make sense with when we talked about the CERN collider on the show, where they were doing that worshiping ceremony.
Yeah.
What if it's some organization hell bent on destroying every conceivable reality there is until there's nothing left? So right before they turn that shit on every time, they do this sacrificial ceremony to which Hindu deity was it? Shiva.
Yeah.
So they do this sacrifice to Shiva. It's all in the name of Shiva, and then they turn the fucker on and destroy another reality.
Well, what if it ripped a hole? So the whole idea is that they knock all these particles together and they're trying to find this Higgs particle. When they actually found the Higgs particle, they ripped a hole in our dimension, and now we're in that dimension.
Yeah.
But see, here's
where we live right
here's
now.
the thing about it all.
How much crazier can it get?
I'd like to think about the bright side of this. You know what the bright side is?
They were praying to him.
Is that
He's the god of destruction.
if this is true, that means that there is more to us than just meat and brain waves and things like that. There is way more going on, because if we have the capability of our entire existence shifting into another reality and still being able to remember things from the other reality, that means we have higher ability.
Think of it this way: we're all on. It's like World of Warcraft. There's 1,000 servers, and every server is some sort of different game. But we're just basically flesh robots.
Oh, speaking of flesh.
We're moist.
Did you get the link I sent you last night? So I found this article about the flesh-colored Crayola crown.
I did. Mandela effect.
Right.
Whoa. What about the flesh-colored Crayola crayons?
Get ready.
Do you all remember the flesh-colored Crayola crown?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Do you remember using it?
Yeah. After
You
1994.
remember using it, right?
Yes.
When you were a child?
Yes.
Like getting a box of Crayola crowns?
And you had the skin-colored crayon. Yes.
It was flesh.
It was called Flesh, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was reading an article last night about Crayola crowns just for no particular reason. And
Deep
the article
research.
says that they discontinued that color in 1962.
Whoa. What? So What color was I using when I was a kid then? Now
It's sad that they changed it to peach in 1962.
Now I do remember using peach a few times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember using
Probably
peach.
that would remember using flesh as well.
Yeah,
They
there
were
was
separate.
there was a flesh crayon.
They were separate but equal.
Which a flesh crayon, I feel like, to me, it sounds like you're talking about a very small penis.
Yeah.
Every time you say flesh crayon, I think of a little dick.
Hand me that penis crayon. I'm gonna draw with it.
Let me get that little tiny
Yeah.
Crayola flesh crayon.
It's just
in my
it
mouth.
exists. It exists back in the reality we all grew up in with Bernstein bears. You know, not stain.
Now, here's the thing, though. I don't
Yeah.
remember why, the whole Nelson Mandela thing. I really wasn't around for his big time. So I can't recall that memory. But the Bernstein Bears, and there was a few other things. There's one that people are remembering that I don't remember. I never remember fucking, what's his name? Sinbad being in a genie movie. I remember Shaquille O'Neal being in a genie movie.
Right.
And I remember, for some reason, he was able to conjure up some sort of candy bar. Some shitty candy bar like Charleston Chew or something like that. I can't remember exactly what candy bar. Hey, if anybody wants to tell me what candy bar he conjured up, let me know. I think it was Charleston Chew, but I'm probably wrong.
Probably was. It's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Pretty shitty candy bar.
Like, if you're at the vending machine and the last thing left is Charleston Chew, you are in a world of hurt.
I'm not that hungry after all.
Oh, wait. Or, like, it was something shitty, like Zagnut or something like that. Like something
God,
you
it just
never
keeps
eat.
getting worse.
Or, like, you ever had a Zero bar before?
Yeah.
Oh.
The day that we drank that,
Your grandma used to get you with $1
Mhm.
the day that we drank that gallon of whiskey, we had to go. I don't remember if it was me and Dr. Doug or if it was me and you that went to the gas station, but we had to get like water, and Adam required a Zagnut bar.
Hey,
I remember
everybody's got their proclivities, man. I ain't gonna hate on him because he likes Zagnut.
I'm not either.
I
I just
mean-
remember it because it was very precise. I was like, out of all the candy bars here in this store, you wanted the Zagnut.
I want a Diet Coke and a Zagnut bar.
Yeah.
Give me a diet
Oh,
caffeine.
that sounds like a terrible combination.
Give me a
dude.
diet caffeine-free Coca-Cola and like
I can't eat sweets and pop at the same time, anyways. It's too much.
yeah.
Sweets and beer.
See, I'm good on that too.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Price, may he rest in peace.
Yes.
He turned me on to what the
Did he liked Heath bars? Didn't
Yes.
he?
yeah Heath.
Bars
Yeah.
in, like,
There's nothing.
Bud Ice.
There's nothing better, in my
God.
opinion, than a Coors Light on a hot summer's day to wash it down with a sweet.
Now,
Sweet.
I will eat a candy bar and a beer. I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not my preferred way to do things, but if I'm drunk, I don't care.
this is how we live.
But a pop and a candy bar is the worst in the world, in my personal opinion.
I get it.
The combination is too much for my senses. Now, my personal favorite is a split between either Reese's, just regular Reese's cups, or Take Fives. You ever had a Take Five before?
I have.
Back in my days where I was, enjoying God's bounty of the green earth. Anybody out there who understands what I say when I say that?
Coded language.
It's coded language.
Yeah.
Anyways, when I was enjoying God's bounty, Take Five was the perfect combination of everything you'd want in a candy bar. It had caramel, it had pretzels, it had peanuts, it had peanut butter and chocolate. Everything.
It was a flavorful combination.
A little saltiness from the pretzel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what your guys' favorite. What's your favorite candy bar, Bones?
I used to eat a lot of those 1,000 grand or whatever they call it.
100 grand?
100 grand.
Yeah, 100 grand are good.
They're good.
I'll fuck with 100 grand. What about you?
Come on.
Ooh, give me
You
a
ever had
break.
the big Kit Kat?
No, man. You
Just
get a big Kit Kat.
One giant piece of Kit Kat.
No, it's not the same.
Those are my third shift go-to when I needed a fucking diabetic coma with a coffee, you know?
Yeah, one time they had those, holiday special giant candies. And one time they have Reese's cups like that. And they're half-pound cups. Big-ass cups. And I was enjoying God's bounty and ate an entire half-pound cup. And then was on the toilet the rest of the next day.
Hating your life.
Because that much Reese's peanut butter in your life is not a good thing.
Never.
But yeah. So,
Did we do show notes? Because I didn't look up on the drive.
I did show notes.
Thank God
Yes, I
for
did.
you.
Yeah, I sent them both. Well, I sent them to the drive and I sent them to Sean for him to glance over.
I'll shoot from the hip. I'm pretty good at shooting.
But, I put first, we're going to, it's not a topic from somebody. I just want to talk about because I was excited about it and I know you two are as well. And that's about Gobegli Tepi. I put Gobegli Tepi, Graham Hancock, and early migration to North America. Because you guys listening out there, if you haven't heard the news yet,
You're being lied to.
after 30 40 years of Graham Hancock having this theory that human civilization was much older than we anticipated. He's and called a quack his entire career.
Yeah. He
said his theories were unfounded, and he was laughed out of all like mainstream archaeological science for his theories. A school in England of archaeology has.
He's not really a scientist or an archaeologist. He's a journalist, an investigator.
He's an investigative journalist. Okay, so but still, these are archaeological theories
and
he
all
had.
He's doing is reporting what he has found. What others have found.
Yeah. So after years of being laughed at and laughed out of every annal of science for these theories that he has, he was found to be proven right by a school in England. They found that Gobegli Tepi was in fact a temple built by people that shouldn't have really been there in the first place, who technically by normal standards of history shouldn't have been able to build a temple like that.
Yeah.
And they found that it depicted a comet slamming into the Earth some rough 12 to 13,000 years ago and destroying the civilization that was there. And that the temple was more or less a memorial to that civilization being lost. So we know that much. So now we know that theory that he had was true. So then every other theory he had has now bumped up into a more plausible range because of it.
Not just some guy that smokes weed and comes up with stuff.
Yeah.
And then more about this new stuff that they just found.
Are you talking about the North American stuff?
Yeah, they were like digging some road in San Diego in the 92 and they found a bunch of mastodon bones.
Yeah. Well, I had watched a documentary.
But they weren't sure.
Yeah, and
They had suspicions that they were, like, the bones were broken open in such a manner that humans had to have done it. So way they could, get the marrow out. Not that they killed the mastodon, but they were using primitive tools, scavenging, and eating the meat and marrow to survive.
but the bones didn't match up with when we had supposedly started migrating to the North American
Well, they
continent.
weren't sure at the time because it hadn't had the technology to properly date.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
then, like, within the last few years, like, as technology has progressed, they started doing some more testing on them. And I guess the other day they found, I think that the bones were broken over 100,000 years ago.
So that's like
Way
what?
before,
Yeah,
like,
what did they say? 50? They said that we've been around on the North American continent for 50,000 years.
I think it's something along that. So this is
Okay.
basically 50,000 plus years earlier than they
Yeah.
suspected.
I had watched a documentary last year where they were in Alaska, and they found like had been a mudslide, and they were digging inside the mudslide and found mastodon bones, and these mastodon bones dated to like 125,000 years ago, and they found cut marks on these mastodons that didn't make sense on the bones. So even then, I watched this documentary and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, they're literally saying on the show right now that this shouldn't be here and this doesn't make any sense because this is like 75,000 years before, or 50,000 years before we were supposedly settling.
Where's this found out?
This is in Alaska.
I was watching the documentary on YouTube, so you can get this behind us. It was on YouTube. It's got to be real.
It's better than fake
But
news.
I think it's legitimate. So they found like these spear points in Virginia somewhere,
Yeah.
and they were unlike any of the spear points that they had ever found in North America, but they matched up almost identical with the ones that they had found over in Europe, like Neanderthal times.
So what they're saying is there's a possibility that Europeans were coming to the North American continent as well.
Well, didn't they shatter the whole idea of like global tool usage when they found the Iceman? I know that wasn't North America, but given like the 100th monkey thing, like I'm sure there's some validity to that. You got somebody he had like a copperhead axe, didn't he? Or a bronze
Oh
axe.
yeah, I remember that.
And he was like fucking 100,000, or
Yeah.
I don't even remember. It was a long time.
So basically,
Super old.
So we have an instance here in our time that proves that for years science has accepted one theory, and anybody else who didn't accept it was a quack.
Yeah.
And one voice in the darkness called out and said no, and he was right.
God,
we can apply that hypothesis to other realms of science as well.
Yeah, totally.
the establishment's bullshit. Once again, I'll throw that rock.
Yeah.
Well,
Shots fired.
back in the day they said that microbes weren't real. You
Well, yeah.
Well, clearly it's demons.
Well, I think we talked about that on the show before too, where like the first doctor to say, "Hey, maybe we should wash up between patients," was laughed out of the establishment, and this is before like they had figured out germ theory or anything yet.
Wasn't it this guy who was like watching some other hospital? It might have been check it out, like their patients aren't dying at the same rate ours are.
Yeah.
They watch their babies. Maybe we should try it out.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, you know,
Heretic.
That's why, like, for the longest time, midwifery was the preferred mode of delivering babies because midwives were clean and they knew what they were doing. And if you took your wife to the hospital when she was pregnant and she had a baby in the hospital, there was a very high chance the baby was just going to die because doctors had a really big love of operating and dissecting corpses and then going directly from dissecting corpses to delivering children.
Having freshly gone through being in the room when that happens, I have to think that midwives still have it going on with the idea of the birthing chair because gravity's your fucking friend.
Yeah.
I could only imagine, you know, we didn't do a midwife, but,
well,
you know, her birth was quick because it was medically induced, but it still took like 12 hours.
And the thing is, it's like...
But if you were induced or sat in a fucking birthing chair, I have to think that, I mean, a ball rolls better downhill.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well, it's one of those things where I listened to this on another show once, and they were talking about midwifery and whatnot, and they said that the reason that women, when they go to the hospital, they lie on their backs for the most part, is because back in the day when midwives did most of the work, midwives didn't have them laying on their back because that slows everything down. They would have them squatting or walking or something to keep things going. But once, you know, we figured out germ theory and things became clean and people started going to doctors more to have babies, doctors prefer to do their business with you laying down. It's easier for them to do their business with you laying down. They don't want to have to be squatting next to you while you're having a kid. They want to be able to sit comfortably on a stool and watch it pop out. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, these doctors that want you on your back are the same doctors that were treating women for hysteria by finger blasting them. Or shooting them with a hose.
Hysterical paroxysm. Yeah.
You know, Google that shit.
Yeah. Look at... I'd say now that we've kind of leaned into a topic today that came to us super late this week, but I still want to go over it anyways. It came to us from Aaron the Wren just last night, and I just so happened to look at my phone this morning as I was getting ready to get up and saw that he had sent us this topic, and it kind of falls right into what we're talking about.
Yes.
And Aaron the Red asked, with the success of an artificial womb bringing a sheep to term and China's human CRISPR experiments, are we on the way to breeding superhuman soldiers? Also, how do you feel about parents being able to genetically select their children's traits? And is an artificial womb playing God?
Can I go ahead and start this off?
Go ahead.
Super soldiers have probably already happened. I don't think that anything that comes out in the mainstream science for us to consume is like fresh. I think it's like 50 years old. So they probably already have it, or they found something better than that. But I can tell you right now, the parents choosing the genetics of their kids were watching how the Jetsons were made. And think about that for a minute.
Part of me...
Everybody listening here really doesn't know like CRISPR is or understand it. You should check out this radio episode about it.
Yeah.
There's a community. It's like 30 minutes long.
But...
And then you can come back and be like...
Now, basically, don't they not have any idea? Like, they go through and they've identified some switches in the genetics of what does what, but they don't know, like, what most of it is, right?
Right. Well, they know, like, they can tell what some of the genetic code does.
But a lot of the genetic code is junk anyways. It doesn't really have a purpose. It's just there for... It's just left over,
right,
more or
that's
less.
Basically what they're using CRISPR. They're using that leftover junk and they're editing out bullshit.
Okay. Now... Here's the thing, and I've always felt this way. I was looking up the artificial womb and everything like that. Now, the main goal for why they created this was for premature babies to be able to come to full term in a healthy way. That's okay. That is completely and utterly okay, and it's not playing God in my book.
That's just bananas.
And I'm completely fine with those means. Now, altering your children's genetic traits to get whatever you want out of it is fucked.
Do you know that in the UK that you can select your dwarfism? The dwarfs are pissed off because they think it's eugenics against them.
That's bullshit!
I mean, that's not speculative. That is
they think
eugenics
exactly
against
what's
them.
happening.
Well, this goes to my long-term liberal paradox that I always said: if you ever got into an argument with a liberal, use this and it'll make the back of their head explode. Okay, the more they do this kind of shit, the more they're going to find out what makes us, right? Mm-hmm. So they're going to find out what, say, makes somebody become a member of the LGBTQ plus community. So they'll find that out. So then you'd be able to find that out before your kid was born, right?
I'm glad you said plus because I was almost triggered.
Okay, right? So, say in theory, okay, say you're a parent and you go to your genetic counselor to figure out what you want your kid to be like. You're not going to pick them to be an LGBTQ plus member because you're afraid that they'll get persecuted, right?
I want my son to be a weak Antifa member in 13 years.
Says no one ever.
Check that box.
So basically,
kill yourself.
This supposed science, which you liberals tout, would usher out the existence of an entire community of people in this world.
Right.
Yeah, that they currently support.
Chewy Pebble.
Mind exploded. Now, what if we added another one of this? This theory originally came up when I saw an article about an advertisement in Spain for an abortion clinic that said they would give you an ultrasound to find out if your baby had Down syndrome and offering abortions for people who had babies with Down syndrome. And I said, that's wrong. Then the person I was talking to said, well, these people have to endure a lot of hardship having a baby with Down syndrome. And I said, that's not up to you. That life wants to exist. It wants to exist.
One of the fucked up things about that, though, is they had a parent that made a documentary or show on their baby, and like they went against doctors' advice because they had that test. Yeah. They were like, well, your child's got Down syndrome, so you might want to consider that. And I guess they pushed them pretty hard to get an abortion. Well, when the baby was born, it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So they could have just aborted a perfectly fine baby.
Yeah. I mean,
hashtag not to say Down syndrome's not okay, because I'm sure somebody out there was upset by that.
But here's the thing, like, I said it was wrong then, and this is where my liberal paradox came from, because I said, what if they came up with a test that was able to determine if your kid would be LGBTQ+.
Right.
And I said, you would have people in droves aborting their babies so that they would never... What's that? Oh,
yeah.
So that they would, people would abort their fetuses if they knew that they were going to be like that, knowing that they would face a world of persecution, correct? So you would usher out the existence of an entire population. Yeah, there you go. And your whole pro-life and pro-LGBTQ plus movement has just been obliterated. I hope you enjoyed it. You can look at it, the histories of it, in a footnote in a textbook, because it's gone now, you stupid fucker.
Gandhi.
Isn't that kind of like Brave New World?
It is like, now the artificial womb harkens to A Brave New World. That's exactly what was going on in A Brave New World. They were creating babies in artificial wombs, and well, not only the master race, but every race under it that would serve the master race.
That's why I said the Jetsons. I mean, think about how racially diverse the Jetsons were.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, they didn't need human slaves. They had robot slaves. Rosie.
You think your job's terrible.
The wise-cracking fucking sassy robot that we can all pretend wasn't really a black archetype, but...
Yeah. George was still giving it the business.
But no.
He was.
Unfortunately for my son, though, going to a genetic counselor probably is going to be a reality. You'll go to a genetic counselor before you decide to have children. And that's some straight Gattaca shit right there.
They won't drive there either. It'll be a self-driving car that takes them.
I mean, if you guys have ever... Yeah, if you guys have ever seen... If you guys have ever seen Gattaca, which I don't know if you have. Okay, Gattaca is basically that played out, where people no longer just up and have children. They go to the genetic counselor first and pick how their children are going to be. The main character is posing as one of those individuals who was a child who was picked, but in reality, he was born naturally.
There was a miniseries I watched. I can't remember. I watched it on Netflix, but I can't remember what was originally aired on called Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
Where they put these people in like the spacecraft, and they were sending them to God knows where. They were on it for like 100 years, and only certain people were allowed to breed. But it was all based on genetics. So like, you couldn't pick who you wanted to breed with. Like people who were in charge of the spacecraft pick who you could breed with based on your genetics. And when it was time, they didn't have a population.
Boom.
Speaking of genetics and overpopulation, just a quick tidbit.
No spoilers.
Did you know that the Amish community refuses genetic testing because they fear how much inbreeding has gone on in their society? I don't know, I forgot that. And I read it yesterday, and I just wanted to throw it into the ether.
while they might be doing some brother-sister love, they are still ahead of the game in medical science.
Yeah, and they're outpacing us in children. I mean, ultimately, at this rate, they would end up, everybody would be Amish.
Nick Alexander just said, take shirts off, please.
Please.
I do like being largest.
You want me to take this shirt off?
Are they the fastest growing community right now?
They're one of the fastest growing groups in America. They birth themselves at like a staggering 3.6%.
Taking over everything.
One
I
of
have a friend that has family out in Kentucky, and there wasn't really much
Look rubbish.
One of the coolest things about the Amish society, though, is like you go up to Amish village in Berlin, Ohio. We go up there about once or twice a year, and I like to think about all the bullshit that we listen to all the time. Like, we may be close to World War III, or it may just be bullshit propaganda. Just like the, 50s and 60s, duck and cover where you hide under a desk. But if we were to hit like an EMP situation, we'd all be like eating each other, and fucking the Amish would have no idea. They might look down at their one has like a digital watch, and they're like, piece of shit.
Yeah.
Throw it in the field.
English garbage.
Yeah.
There was an area that not allowed to have it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, okay then. Well, thanks, Aaron the Red, for the topic. I hope we dived into it enough to satiate your hunger for all that nonsense.
It's early enough that we could call it breakfast.
Breakfast!
Yes.
But, okay, so on to our next topic. It comes from, of course, Our Lady of College Corner, St. Catherine.
St. Catherine.
And she asked us, you could have never... Asked.
Sorry.
She asked us,
Yeah, it's Facebook Live.
you could have never-ending life
So I said we're live.
with endless youth and vitality. But every 10 years past your normal life expectancy, your genitals shrink an inch. Do you take the deal?
Well, I would originally go for
No, how long would it take for my genitals to start shrinking?
No, every 10 years past your life expectancy, you lose an inch.
so let's say 76.
After that time,
Yeah, let's say, the average life expectancy is about 76.
I would automatically say go ahead and sign me up, but then you look at like all the people that cause the chaos in this world, or the old people that probably aren't fucking anyway.
Listen, here's the thing, though. After about 30 years, you'd have to probably pee sitting down.
Yeah. I do it anyway. I mean, I'm already
That's true.
I'm already doing it.
See, I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, at that point, if you just decide, all right, I'm cool with living sexless, like, I'm just going to keep living.
Just have a bunch of beautiful young Kim Jong-uns running around.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet haircut.
But, see, I was kind of on the fence on this one. I mean, but then now that I think about it, if I'm 76 and then I get to keep going, so I've lived my entire life with a normal human penis, and then I have to, like, abandon my normal human penis to keep living, I guess by then I'd be like, whatever about it.
Well, I'm sure that with the advances in life and quality of life, we would eventually come up with a way to, like, plug in a dick.
That's true.
It goes straight into your neurons, and you can feel it.
And then,
Your robo-dick.
I wondered how this applied, like, this question would apply to women. Because, like, how does their genitals shrink an inch?
It would just close up.
It would just close up completely.
I think so.
I think so. I mean, that's all it would have to do. There's not much there.
It would probably be like a knife-resistant callus where you couldn't cut through it.
It would look
Yeah.
less like a kick inside of the
Whoa! Got him! Got him.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, women.
Ooh-wee. But, but, okay, yeah, so, I mean, think about it, like, but he said that they were replacing it with, are we back live? Are we on the,
We are.
we're on the show? Oh, shit! Okay.
Live on Facebook the entire time.
Well, I know we're on live on Facebook, but I thought about, like, the show. The show is a different kind of live, where we can edit our lives like time masters.
Right.
But,
Masters of time.
but yeah, so, thank you for the question, St. Catherine. I don't know how I feel about peeing sitting down still. I mean, I'm not a big fan of it,
It's not
honestly.
bad, man. Try it
Sorry,
out.
now sometimes.
I do every once in a while, but it's very rare. Anyways, thanks for the question, St. Catherine. Next one comes from Tobeans. Tobeans asked, just watched a show that said there used to be an alien race that lived on Antarctica. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have a lot of...
Is Antarctica a gigantic island basically is off of the Earth, or is Antarctica a wall that around.
They just say,
Right. Say, I've got a lot of theories.
Yeah.
A lot of theories on Antarctica.
When I saw this question, that's the first thing that came to mind was I was like, I think this is flat Earth theory redux. But no, I'm gonna let you take over on this one, Bones, and prolesticize the powers of Antarctica.
Before I go there, I'm going to catch everybody up on Facebook Live. Susan Emhoff said, "You're still alive. No pause for drinks. You didn't pause. Heard your whole conversation about orange drinks. I am not on Facebook." And then Alexander said, "I had an experience in Pennsylvania. They have feet like gremlins on meth." But back to Antarctica. I don't know. I think anything's possible when it comes to that place. Like we were joking about it. I've never been there.
I think we need to get the road ranger.
Oh yeah, the Road Ranger.
The Road Ranger.
I want to know what the Road Ranger. If you're still listening, Road Ranger, on the Facebook Lives, let us know in the comments what you think about Antarctica and the question that we posed. But yeah, I don't know.
What if we just started a Kickstarter to go to Antarctica?
What's funny is that
we're gonna find out for sure because we're legit individuals.
we'll get killed, man.
You think we'll get? You think that'll be our murder right there?
If I watch anything on Facebook that I think's true conspiracy, it's people that have tried to go to Antarctica and the videos disappear and
and then you kill yourself by shooting yourself in the back of the head
with a rifle.
I listened to this podcast the other day. It has to do with Antarctica, but not aliens. This guy was a doctor on Antarctica, and his appendix was at first.
Oh, he had to do surgery on
He had
himself.
surgery on
Yeah.
himself.
I've heard that one.
Fucking
Yeah.
savage.
He used a mirror, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like he laid on the table, had a mirror, gave himself a local, right?
Yeah, there's people around him, and he just like scalpel, and they're like giving him the he's like doing it himself with a mirror.
Yeah. They actually,
Fucking savage is what that is.
they, I don't know if did you ever watch The Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up doing that on the last episode. The guy was like, he had like a perforated bowel in multiple places.
That was the show that took place when
The early 20th century.
Right.
So like, smack dab in the middle of the heroic age of medicine, as they call it. So like, right when they're finally starting to figure out how to fix people the right way. Before, people were just, talking about bad air and miasmas and shit like that. But, see, when I think of Antarctica, I always just think of The Thing. And if anybody ever sat and watched The Thing before, The Thing is a fucking, well, the best, one, it's one of the best horror movies ever. Two, is a frightening concept of what could possibly happen when you're in fucking Antarctica.
I think if you look at during the presidential campaigning, and they had head party members from the Democratic and Republican parties that went down to Antarctica, in the middle of all that shit, and then during the ratcheting up of the new Cold War, Putin took a break and went down there. There's some real life shit going on down there.
I remember John Kerry went down there.
Yeah. Right. It's no more than 1,500 people at any time, and all they're doing is science.
Well, that and then
what kind of science?
Right.
They only take so many high schools.
Yeah.
What about the Nazis? They went down there too.
They had some huge expedition.
Yeah. And then suddenly they
Nazis
left.
are racist.
Yeah. They deuced out and were like, we're not going back.
Yeah. It's because they got down to the ice wall and they realized we live in a prison planet.
Run. Run.
It's just a giant ice ball that nobody can get to the top of, and basically the overlords come down and they reinforce some sort of a Gnostic death trap.
Yeah.
Research the Gnostic death trap.
But, then I saw recently someone took a picture of what they called a mountain. It was it looks like a sketchy mountain that really looked kind of like a pyramid down there.
Yeah.
A black pyramid at that. Which makes you wonder. I mean, there was a time, if you believe in Pangea and all that, which I do, there was a time when Antarctica was part of the main continent. So it was in a much warmer climate. It had dinosaurs on it. We know that much.
What if the Pangea was when we were building that tower to escape our prison? Yeah, and then the people were separated. Pangea was, set apart.
Set apart.
I'm just saying. We don't honestly know. One thing I'm interested to watch, though, is that everybody's lambasting Eddie Bravo for being a flat earther, right? And then, Joe Rogan, you sent me that video of the really, really long clip of, all the times he talked about how the moon landing was fake. And he did a really good job of,
He was pretty adamant about it.
He was adamant, and he did a really good job with his facts of, supporting all the video, how it looked like shit, how all the pictures looked like shit. He had people talking about how it looked like shit. Then all of a sudden, he's like, we went to the moon. So the same people like that are on Eddie Bravo right now, and he's trying to raise money to get a flight to see.
He's that serious about it.
Yeah, they're trying to get like some sort of Kickstarter or something going for him to actually fly up and see the Earth in the atmosphere.
So go out of lower Earth orbit.
Right.
Okay.
So now Eddie Bravo is going to get paid off.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, or he'll just die.
You see him and he's got a bunch of gold rings, big gold chain.
Joe, I don't know. Everything's fine. He's just higher than normal all the time. He's got some of that weed that Kim Jong-un smoked before he launched that field missile.
Yeah, that we probably tankered with.
Some of the weed that Donald Trump smoked before he dropped the Moab. You know?
You think he smoked a big old fatty right before he did it?
For sure.
Like, do you think it was a fatty, or you think he just cracked up, like, burnt a bowl big time?
Yeah. He called Jeff Sessions in to make him watch and smoke the joint.
Yeah, Jeff Sessions had to sit there and watch as he did it.
There were only two things. I'm gonna jump around real quick, but since we're on Trump, his 100 days report. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's only two things in that I liked. One, they're not going to rescind the trade or travel to Cuba, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking silly.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, he actually apportioned $0 for Jeff Sessions to go after medical marijuana states.
Oh.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, those are two things that I'm cool with.
Do you think Jeffy was mad?
I hope so.
He'd probably sit there hey, cocksucker, he fucking gives me this fucking job. He knows I hate fucking weed.
Yeah.
I want to know why Jeff Sessions hates weed so much.
I think it was because his Uncle Jesse fucked him while he was smoking a joint. He came in his bedroom when he was the tender age of 7 and just
every time he smelled that skunky smell, he knew it was time.
He knew what time it was.
He knew what time it was.
I don't blame the weed, though. I blame Uncle Jesse, because Uncle Jesse would have been a cunt without it. He would have been a rapist with cheeseburger and scratch tickets.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what the medium was.
But yeah.
Sorry, we're back.
Yeah. But I don't, Antarctica's weird. And like I said, I don't want to die, but at the same time, if you guys funded an expedition to Antarctica, I'd probably end up going.
Yeah, I mean, if we made enough for us to pay off our debts and just go, I'd do it.
Yeah, if Bones and Tubbs Nation wanted to fund our expedition, I'd be down. You'd take a boat? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's whatever.
Well, I mean, it depends. If you read, what was that guy? Who's in the Air Force, the Army?
Oh, yeah.
He flew down. Yeah, fuck me, I can't remember. But his journal reads like a fucking dystopian novel. He's talking about flying down there. It's like a logbook. And every 30 minutes, he reports like some kind of engine trouble. Yeah, it'll come to me in a minute. But he flies down and he everything's making sense for a while, and then like the compass starts to go wonky, which it should.
Yeah.
And then he adjusts his altitude based on his engines fucking up. And then all of a sudden, he's like, the temperature readings start to go up, which is strange, because that area shouldn't go up at all. And it ended up getting to a temperate, like, 72 degrees, and he reported seeing green and, like, trees and giants and all kinds of shit.
Jesus.
He met with people down there, the breakaway civilization.
It's like an H.G. Wells novel.
They sent him down there during or shortly after World War II to, like, check on the Nazis.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't even publish that till he died. But anyway, yeah, it's just another crazy little Antarctica rant.
Yeah, Antarctica. Check it out. Hashtag Kickstarter. Hashtag GoFundMe.
Yeah.
That says Boats and Tubs go to Antarctica.
Should I ask Dr. Doug Herty, since we've got him here, about the GoFundMe idea that I had?
Sure, go ahead.
You know how, like, you've been on GoFundMe probably for trolling?
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of legitimate GoFundMes. I'm not going to say that they're all. Right. We talked about making a GoFundMe, and I even thought about Kickstarter, where we just make a video, and it's like got that kind of upbeat, story music. Yeah. And we're wearing, like, he's got his cardigan, and I've got a nice polo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hi, I'm not here to ask you for money to support my drug habit. I don't need a new car. My house didn't burn down. I don't have any children that I'm poisoning with cough medicine to make you think they have cancer or anything like that. No, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
So if you want to give money to people and, you're not sure if it's going to go to heroin or not, just know if you spend it on us, it's not going to go to heroin.
No. But we do want your money.
Yeah, we need it.
Give us that money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're we need that Skrilla for new equipment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want a nice camera so you can see our nice high definition. Well, I can't speak for Buzz, but my ugly ass face.
Well, mine too. I mean,
yeah.
pockmarks.
I want to look as bad as Steve Bannon does. And I feel like the only difference between me and Steve Bannon is he gets captured with high definition quality picture. But,
I feel like I look like the guy that did Iago's voice in Aladdin. What's his name?
Jafar.
No.
Oh wait. Oh, you're talking about Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah.
Check out our GoFundMe page. Give me your money.
That was better. All right. Thank you, Toe Beans, for the question.
Bing.
We'll move on. We have another one from St. Catherine. She asked, what is the one thing that you most wish you could do better? I said impersonations. I wish I was better at impersonations. I am a terrible impersonator. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't do too many on the show. I did my David Rockefeller one time, and it's like, old man like this, and we talk about evil things that we like to fucking do.
Yeah.
But Bones is a much better impersonator than I am. He has a cavalcade of voices that he can do that are impressive.
It takes up the part of my brain that should be used for math.
Understandable.
I wouldn't mind doubling down on impersonations. Maybe if I was just a little bit better, I wouldn't have to do what I do for a living.
That's true. But and I had a goofy one too, and I said shred some sweet licks on a bitchin' guitar. But
yes.
But yeah, I think impersonations. I mean, other than that, there's not much I want to do better. I think I'm getting better at being a podcaster. So if I said I want to do better at being podcasting, that's true.
I want to be a better human and help people.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel you there.
And I could see where you're coming from that, because I have had to renew The Wolves of Calla 3 times at the library now because I just haven't been able to find the time to read it. And I'm halfway through it, and it's like, I need to fucking finish this book, because every time I go to the library to renew it again, they give me this look like, come on, dude.
Really, dude?
Come on.
Yeah.
Go to third shift.
Shit, for real.
Yeah.
That's about all I can do at this point.
I read all of them on third shift.
But, and that's how I did Game of Thrones. I read the entire Game of Thrones on third shift.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings. And a couple other books on top of that. First, it is better than
Factory
second.
of Sadness.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Third shift at the Factory of Sadness. But yeah, impersonations are my big thing, though. Especially, I think of that when it comes to podcasting, because I'd love to do some more, awesome impressions, but I'm just terrible at them. I've never been able to have an ear for them before.
Practice makes perfect.
That's true, but I don't even know where to begin, because I can't tell, the only thing I can do is record myself and then listen to it and think, okay, well, this is a little better. I feel like my Christopher Walken sucks,
Well, that's a hard one.
See, but everybody has a Christopher Walken, though. That's usually a lot of people's bread and butter is Christopher Walken.
I feel like when I'm alone, I talk to myself in Christopher Walken's voice, but it only sounds good when I'm alone.
I was just, Frankenstein never scared me.
But marsupials do.
But marsupials do. See, I can't do a good one. I'm terrible at impressions.
It's fine.
I could do kind of an Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's like that. That's about as far as it gets. I can't actually say words. It's just that.
Yeah.
So, Sylvester Stallone would be like, it's a little bit lower. Very similar, but just lower. A little more guttural.
Yes.
But, yeah. I wish I could do better than that. And I guess, to an extent, I wish I could be a better podcaster, but I'm getting there. That's the thing.
Practice.
It's amazing, if you've just now picked up on the show, being able to watch the evolution of the show from its humble beginnings to now.
Sitting half naked in our respective kitchens, talking over Skype.
Yeah, talking over Skype on those old microphones, which I can't knock them too much. We used them forever, but these are fucking...
Yeah, luckily there are none.
Yeah. Oh, that was back when I didn't even bother. I was in my underwear, because we didn't video chat each other. We just had audio.
The only video evidence that exists of that is what the NSA recorded off of our shitty laptop mics and cameras.
Yeah.
But that's fine. This is fine.
What do you think? What would you like to improve on, Bones?
Well, like I said, if I could double down on anything I was good at, it would, comedy would be good. I like to make people laugh, make them laugh more.
Yeah.
Basically, instead of having, how you make your character in Fallout?
Yeah.
You have, the number, or any real, role-playing game. You get, 40 points, and you have to apportion them in like 6 different categories.
Yeah.
I would just go back and probably do like 2 on all of them, and then just put the rest in 1 instead of having like.
So be like fucking super awesome at like one thing in particular.
Instead of having like straight 8s, because you look at anybody that's like famous or wildly successful at one thing, they're like 10 in one and mildly autistic in the others.
Yeah,
and that's fine with me.
Exactly.
I would re-roll the dice, but I hear that being in the Gnostic Death Trap, that's one thing we get. We get to kind of pick where we come back. So apparently we picked this.
We picked this.
Good job, us.
Nice.
Napoleon Hill. Yeah, it's a good one. It's true though, very true.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, improvements. Like I said, I'm always trying to improve to an extent, but yeah, I comedy wise, like here's the thing, like with my comedy, I feel like half the time I can make a joke land really fucking well. Like I'll be talking to people, and amongst you guys, I think we can make each other laugh a lot better than say like when I'm around other people. Because sometimes, like, I'll be with Toe Beans, and I'll say something that I find absolutely fucking hilarious.
You can't even hold it in.
I can't even fucking... I start laughing because it's so goddamn funny, but she's like, that's not fucking funny.
Why do you say that?
Like, but then, here's the thing. Sometimes if I elaborate on a joke, then it becomes funny for those people, because I think sometimes, like, I try not to have inside jokes that people wouldn't be able to catch up on, but once I start elaborating on it, like... when I was talking to her about garbage tubs, the concept of garbage tubs, at first she hated it, and she thought it wasn't funny.
It's stupid.
And she's like, it was stupid, and I was like, but then I started elaborating on it, and then I got her turned on to the idea about garbage tubs, and that's when she finally found it funny. But I don't know why. I think there's reasons she didn't find it funny. I think that has to do with the mongoloid aspects.
The same reason she didn't like our kaiju insurance commercial.
Yeah. I mean, we triggered her.
I get it.
Triggered.
But
that happens from time to time. If you listen to this podcast, at one point in time, everybody listening probably has been triggered by us.
I hope so.
And I think I said it really early on when we were recording the show. I don't care.
No.
I'm going to keep triggering.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to apologize for it either.
Trigger finger.
Yeah. People trigger me constantly, but I don't say a word about it because I come from the older group that decided that. Yeah, exactly. What happened to that? Why can't people do that anymore? And it's like, it's weird. It like happened to like some of us, but then there's people older than us that still are just as crybaby as any SJW ever dreamed of being. Now that there's social media. Because they think that everybody's listening to them. Like, yeah, now everybody is kind of lightweight, forced to listen to you if you're friends with them. So your only option is either get rid of those friends, or just ignore them and scroll past their fucking stupid shit that they have.
I saw a funny meme the other day that was like showing how a conservative was sitting back all like cocky, talking about how shitty social justice warriors are, about getting offended by everything, and then how they need to grow up and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden somebody burns the flag and he fucking freaks out.
Yeah.
Triggered. It's just like everybody is the best at everything and everybody else is terrible, but we're all the same and it's just a different spectrum.
Yeah.
Kill yourself.
Exactly. It's poured our terrible human minds out onto the table for everybody to see. And you know what the worst part is? Is people airing their private business on social media. That is so fucking cringy.
It's ridiculous.
It makes me cringe every time I see it where I'm like, please stop. And like people who talk about like people who are junkies or whatever, and they're like, I've been fucking 2 years clean. Please don't fucking talk about that. That's fucking gross.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you did heroin, but now you don't.
I wish I'd sent you guys screenshots that I did not take, and I regret it. From now on, I'm gonna screenshot everything I find hilarious at that moment. But I watched, and I'll name drop, shots fired, but people that we went to school with. There was a conversation between David Rose, Jake Singleton, Zach Deem, and some other chick. And one of them posted a picture of the other ones at a...
I saw this.
Did you read the...
Oh, my fucking God, it was hilarious.
So, for those of you that are uninitiated in what we're talking about, these people are all in some stage of recovery or current addiction with heroin or other drugs.
Now, is Jake Singleton... Was he on that shit too?
I don't know. I feel
he was just on the crime shit, not the drug and shit. They do, but sometimes they don't. Some dudes are just like whatever about it and just like to rob people and shit.
But they were all like shitting on each other on Facebook for like being addicted to drugs, or the picture was like of 2 or 3 of them at some Give Hope a Chance rally.
It was Hope for Heroin. That's what it was called.
Hope for Heroin. So like celebrate their sobriety or whatever, and they were just talking mad shit to each other about how they were all failures and fuck ups, and then like the shit talking escalated to them saying that one of them had a small dick, and who that guy is now with the other one's ex.
Oh.
And he liked to get his asshole fingered. And then that dude owned up to both of those things. He admitted to both of those things. And then, like, this lady that was playing Virtue Warrior in there, talking shit to the bad guys, got called out for being a prostitute, and she admitted it.
Oh my fucking god! See, I didn't get that far into it. I saw it when it's...
Yeah, who's
I
the
feel
bigger
like
turd?
this is a this has to be at least a 30 comment thread for people to start dropping truths like that.
It was like 58.
Okay, I only got to I saw the first 15 and I was like, this is getting fucking crazy.
Heavy.
I better keep a tab on this, but I lost track of it. And now I wish I would have.
I think they deleted it because I can't find it. I tried to screenshot it.
Of course
it
they
was
did.
Gone. But I was like, I left my house and I drove to Eaton to get gels, and the food only took 15 minutes to get ready. I didn't pick it up for 30 minutes because I sat in my car reading those comments.
Oh, I wouldn't have either. I've been like,
fuck food right now.
Yeah. I mean, like, it just, like, sometimes, like, I hate using that word because it's buzzy, but cringeworthy.
Yeah.
To, like, air your business out on the fucking street corner like some sort of fucking maniac.
They had a story the other day, too, of these guys that were, like, making a rap video out in front of their house, and they were showing all the drugs and guns and money they had, and then they got raided. And,
I wonder why.
And the police Facebook page liked the video and said, thanks for helping us do our job. And it's like, what do you fuckers think you're doing? David Rose, like, they talk about him selling heroin currently, and then he gave his address. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Stupid.
Dummy.
Stupid. Hey, what's that old thing we say? There's gonna be a t-shirt about it soon?
Yeah.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly. You play stupid games, you guaranteed to win stupid prize, boy.
TM, that's Bones and Chubb's material now. We TM'd it.
It's already been trademarked.
It's on a t-shirt now.
$199 trademark fee.
Yeah.
I'll see you in court.
Yeah. See you in court with my lawyer.
Yes.
The merchandise page
Philip Goldberg.
Yeah. Be scared.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, his name's Goldberg, bitch.
You know what that means.
But yeah, so I mean, I can't stand people doing shit like that. Like, there's this one girl I was friends with on Facebook, and she was so fucking graphic about talking about how she liked to get banged, and I had to unfriend her because it was just too much.
What was her name? Shame her.
I'm not shaming her.
Come on.
No, because here's the problem: she shares a name with somebody else that didn't do this.
Okay.
So I can't shame because I'm afraid it'll get confused in the ether as to who I'm shaming.
What's her first name?
It starts with a J, and her last name starts with a C. And it's not the one we're thinking of.
Okay.
It's the other one.
I understand.
Okay. Alright. She used to get so fucking graphic with her shit, I had to unfriend her because she's like, I just love getting choked out while I get fucked.
Ooh, wee.
And I'm like she put that shit, and I'm like, it made me blush, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. And she was putting it on Facebook, like, come on, big dog.
They did have a funny meme that corresponds with this also. The guy sitting in a job interview, and the lady interviewing him was wearing a blue blouse, and it said, did you remember posting on Twitter 58 seconds ago the girl in the blue blouse would totally get smashed? What are you doing, man? Get your life together.
So, I say let's move on to the next topic. Thanks, King St. Catherine.
Thank you.
Our next one comes from Lunch Meat. Hey, Lunch Meat.
Hi.
Hi. I think you might have been watching us live here a little while ago.
He's gone now.
Okay. He asked, what type of outfit would you recommend me to wear to get out of jury duty next week?
Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
No, here's the thing. I said you shouldn't wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. They will pick your ass in a second if you're wearing a BLM shirt.
Think so?
Well, the defense would.
Yeah.
Well, no,
we can assume, though. I mean,
now,
based on
here's
statistics.
the thing. There is some obvious choices here. There is some obvious choices what you can wear to get out of jury duty. The question is, are you bold enough to pick these clothing options?
Yeah.
In order
go
to...
to your local Walmart and pick up maybe 3 t-shirts.
Yeah, and that's subtle. I think the key is to be subtle in this. A MAGA hat or shirt, I think is subtle. I think that'll send a message that would get you out of jury duty. That's subtle. There's non-subtle. I mean, I could think of if you wore a full-blown like SS uniform
You can't really do that. I mean, you could.
What if you wore a suit with just a pin?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lapel pin
Armband.
or an armband for that matter. That would get you out of jury duty real fucking quick. Or, you know, a clan outfit.
Go dress in
That's just
full
me.
furry.
That would get you out of it. But that's not really all that subtle.
Whatever the Road Warrior wears.
Oh my god. I would wear that to a fucking jury duty.
That's the only thing that makes me sad when I watch Road Warrior videos is that I can't actually see the Road Warrior. I like to think that with that voice comes an excellent face, body, and personality that is completely unique.
But yeah.
And I think he wears like overalls with no clothes underneath them. Or
Or like
Nice.
really super short shorts
yeah.
with maybe like your balls hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Some bike shorts.
A t-shirt with a crazy sweatband on, like 1970.
Velcro shoes.
Velcro shoes, definitely.
Or maybe those weird sandals that aren't like thong sandals are the ones that like strap on.
Strap-on sandals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or with socks on?
Yeah. Most definitely. The long ones with the color ring from the 90s. That probably never existed because of the Mandela effect.
A fanny pack?
Hmm.
Fanny packs are cool.
I could see you wearing a fanny pack, Dr. Doug Herty. I could see you wearing one. I think you should do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's a good place to keep all your important things.
All your items.
All your important stuff.
Jesse Ventura wears one pretty good.
Because you couldn't tell him not to.
Yeah.
See, he's
Yeah,
a frog.
but
I'm a
here's the
frog
thing.
man.
Yeah. Fucking
Navy SEAL.
Jesse Ventura's a fucking boss. Like, he'll beat your ass if you say something about his fucking fanny pack.
Right.
He's like the real life, what's that dude's name from Adventure Brothers?
Brock Sampson.
Yeah, Brock Sampson.
He's like, Brock Sampson's like a mix between Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
True American.
But, I mean, I'd say a MAGA hat would definitely, it's a subtle touch that would, I think, bring you to the front, and they'd be like, they wouldn't even ask you questions. They'd look at you and just be like, okay, no.
Thanks for showing up. Here's your $8.
Yeah.
Go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, go in like, here's the thing, you go in
I
overalls.
thought it was like 35.
Overalls with a plaid shirt buttoned all the way to the top.
Probably is now inflation.
Your hair slicked down, but you're wearing a MAGA hat on top of it. And maybe some sort of Trump-Pence button.
Can we?
Have you guys ever been selected for jury duty?
No.
Negative. Never have been.
I was once. I went up to the courthouse. It was right after I got sued. Like a month after. It was like a similar case. They like started asking me all the questions like if I had issues with the case. Yeah, the same thing happened to me like a month ago. So I'm definitely on the guy's side of getting sued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, ooh,
Bias.
Yeah. Sorry.
Got him.
go get your money.
Yeah.
We don't want
Sorry.
Back the way you came.
Yeah.
you. Right.
I want to bring up the comment, too, that Agris girl posted.
That's fine. You can go ahead and do that.
She said, I don't have it right in front of me, but basically it was like, you shouldn't get out of jury duty because research jury nullification. And I do fully support jury nullification. Because if I'm ever, and I never would be, but let's just use someone else. Let's say that you are a law-abiding citizen who happens to enjoy the devil's lettuce,
Yeah.
and you get pulled over with enough to make a mandatory court appearance.
Yeah.
You have a jury trial, and you weren't doing anything wrong. You were driving to college or wherever the fuck you were going, not under the influence, just in possession of devil's lettuce. And you're looking at time or a heavy fine, and one guy on the jury is pro devil's lettuce. He can say, not guilty.
Yeah.
Guess what? You just nullified that law because it's a bullshit law. If you even talk about jury nullification in the jury, you will be held in contempt. What's up with that? Google jury nullification.
I think that could be kind of cool to be
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, we're talking...
We're talking about most 95% of the time when like some bullshit traffic case or some asshole suing somebody or some stupid
I'm sure, even though the defense and the prosecutors try to look like they're on opposite sides, I'm sure they still bow to the system in the way that they're like, they both agree that they're not going to allow certain people in there. Like, if they think one of us leans towards jury nullification, neither one of them wants us in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's all part of the system.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even really. I guess you could wear an InfoWars t-shirt in there.
Yeah.
That would really,
That would definitely
mix
get you.
things up.
Yeah.
It'd be like, ooh, nope.
Got him.
No.
Get out. No. Here's your $35
Maybe
check.
like a flat Earth t-shirt.
Yeah.
Just a portrait of the flat earth. Now I
NASA.
want that t-shirt.
NASA shirt, never a straight answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that might get you out of there, too.
Basically, just try to go either looking totally free and crazy or woke.
Hey, you think if I wore my serial rapist shirt, that would get me out of jury duty?
I would say so. Especially it'd be funny. Like, what's the case? Rape? No.
Well, I have just to clarify here. Let me get this out there because it's being said over the waves doesn't sound right. I have a shirt that says serial rapist on it. Okay, it's not spelled SERIAL. It's spelled SEREAL.
Yeah,
not
multiple.
Or not CEREAL.
It's not multiple or a number. It's delicious cereal.
It says serial rapist as in the cereal you eat for breakfast, and it has a bunch of our favorite cartoon serial characters bound to chairs and tied up and gagged.
And there's a shadow over him of the man coming down the stairs.
Like he's coming for him, right?
And he's about to eat
Breakfast! Breakfast!
But, or I think my classic I'd rather be fighting the man shirt would probably do a pretty good job of it too.
Yeah.
It says I'd rather be fighting the man, and it has a big power fist on it.
What color's the fist?
Brown.
Okay.
I have to be careful about wearing that shirt these days.
Yeah.
It used to be ironic, but now
it's real.
It's real now.
It's gone live itself.
Yeah. But, a nice subtle touch would get you out of it. Now, like you said, and there's the other side that say, well, you shouldn't get out jury duty because, it's your duty to help people. But, sometimes it's a sticky wicket, though. Papa Tubbs had jury duty a few years ago on a pretty serious case of molestation. Now, here's the problem, is you get thrown up in court, and this thing supposedly happened almost 2 decades ago. And the guy was just now being accused of it. And this dude has been a stalwart member of the community for all these years, and it was 2 stepdaughters who claimed that he had molested them. And by this point, there's no evidence, no physical evidence at least. It's all hearsay. Mm. So you only have these 2 girls and him who were involved. And as much as Papa Tubbs wanted to prosecute, it wasn't substantial enough to prosecute.
I can tell you could probably look at him and tell if he was or was not a skeeve.
Yeah. Well, I think in reality, our employment at the factory of Sagnus might just very well get us out of jury duty anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Thanks for the question, lunch meat. Appreciate it. But, yeah.
AKA Road Warrior.
Our last question of the day comes from St. Catherine, of course, again.
Yes.
Our Lady, who just keeps coming with the topics. I love that. Some weeks I think, are we going to get enough topics to really fill a show out? We always do. And basically, 70% of that reason is because St. Catherine pulls through for us.
Because she has that magical glass ball.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple that haven't really been speaking up lately. Elmo is one of them.
Yeah.
Elmo, need to hear from you, bro.
Been talking to you, too. I don't know what's going on in your life.
I want to caress your face and be like, give me something. Tell me something. I want to know.
Yes.
But, okay, so anyways, St. Catherine asked, if you could resurrect one deceased artist of any medium, painting, writing, etc., to create one more work, who would you pick?
Adolf Hitler.
Jesus Christ.
just for the lulz, just for the lulz.
Okay.
Not really. He was a painter, if you guys didn't know that.
Yeah. I said, of course, my favorite writer of all time, and I said Kurt Vonnegut, because I want to see him. He was a great political satirist. I'd love to see him in this day and age, in the world we're living in now, with a full knowledge of the meme wars, the Battle of Berkeley, Trump, MAGA, all that stuff rolled together, right? And even Pizzagate, everything. I want to see everything. I want him to see everything, and I want him to write one more, if it was just an essay, about what was going on. I want to see his take on it, because for the longest time, Kurt Vonnegut, when it came to political ideologies, was my dude. Like, he's who I look to for inspiration, as to kind of like, he was a great humanist, so he was able to dive deep into what made us us and why things were happening. So I would say Kurt Vonnegut, and then I put in there for an anarchy factor Hunter S. Thompson, because I really think Hunter S. Thompson would have a really good few things to say about what's going on too, and I think he'd be a huge proponent of the meme war. I think he would love it. It's basically Gonzo journalism to its extreme.
Yes.
But what do you think?
Mark Twain.
I think he would have a hard time.
Yeah.
I mean, considering the age he lived in,
right,
seeing things the way they are now, he might have a problem.
I want him to write about it.
You want him to write about it?
I want him to write everything that he thinks.
I feel like he'd write for Breitbart.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. So is that the only one, just Mark Twain?
Yep, that's the only one that really came to mind. What about you, Dr. Doug?
Ooh, Bob Ross would just keep doing what Bob Ross did best.
I know.
But we need Bob. We need Bob right now.
We need people like that.
Well, it's kind of like when
I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross on YouTube.
Yeah.
Even like those Bob Ross on YouTube.
Guess what's gonna get subscribed to once I leave here?
He's even got. I watched one the other day where he was doing like a Q&A session.
Yeah.
After the first season, they didn't think that it was going to go on anymore.
Mm.
He's like, "Well, we'll see you guys later," because he thought it was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has a son in there, and they're like, "This is great. He's such a happy guy." I think we need people like that.
Bob Ross's life.
Well, it's like when Dave Chappelle finally came back out of the shadows and started rejoining us and giving us what his taste of things. And I remember he was on SNL, like literally right at the week after the election, he came on, and in all reality, like I feel like we needed him.
Yeah.
We needed him right then at that moment because, like, I think he was able to say with in a non-decisive way what Americans wanted to hear.
Well, I think that we're so divided right now that we need people like that who just really
managed to unite all people
Yeah.
all over the spectrum
exactly. Instead of
to
all
laugh,
like,
even if it's just to laugh.
Right.
That's the
I
thing.
mean, you don't have to necessarily agree with everything, but I think we need more people like
Well,
that who like can bring people together on some other spectrum.
That's
Yeah.
the way it should be, and that's the power of it all, man.
Right.
Like,
Instead of this like extreme polarization between like these hardcore conservatives and these like hardcore
Antifa.
anti people like fighting all the time, battling. Like, no, man, fuck that. We need like Rob Ross telling us like, it's your life, man. You can put this tree wherever you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever agreed on everything, you know? And it's like, if anybody was a student of history, they realize that the greatest power that the elite can gain is to divide everybody.
Yeah.
They divide the people, they conquer society.
Oh, man.
Right. Get rid of the fear, get rid of the division. Fuck. Get your life together.
Yeah, on that note, making people laugh. What about like Chris Farley?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's the boss.
I'd
If
love
only
to
that
see,
hooker had
That's
called
the
the
funniest
ambulance.
motherfucker in the world.
dude. He was like, you could just go back and watch Tommy Boy and just revel in the hilarity of Chris Farley. And that's like I said. I think it's the people that make us laugh. I think that are the ones that are able to unite us the most. Not with partisan politics or anything like that. They were just able to make everybody laugh with their goofy shit, and we don't have that anymore.
Right.
Because like I feel like you almost have to subscribe to a certain brand of comedy at this point. Because
I agree. I mean, watching SNL, I feel like it's a constant jab at the other side.
yeah, you
Like,
should.
oh, it's funny for this side, but the other side, we're just going to constantly jab it with the knife.
Yeah.
Poke fun of them. Like, it doesn't really bring people together. All it does is like polarize us even more.
Right.
Like all we do is watch comedies about people making fun of the other side now.
It's horseshit.
Yeah.
Just can't we make fun of ourselves?
It feels
Make
like
fun of
it feels
everybody.
like low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's lazy. It's lazy. Like to make everybody laugh is far more powerful.
Right.
And unfortunately, I feel like all those who did that, I think this election it almost sent a death nail into that ability for people to cross both sides and be able to make both sides laugh because everybody had to pick a side in this war. You know what I mean? There's still hope. There's still hope for some community. Like I said, Dave Chappelle, I feel like he came out of the ether when we needed him most and gave us something that first time I watched SNL in years. I've always been a big fan of his. And his comedy specials he did recently, I mean, look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
It triggered the fuck out of some liberals. Holy shit. I haven't seen that, and I think they weren't expecting it.
One of my favorite ones was where he was talking about his time where he bombed at a club in Detroit, and he was like, he took that $50,000 he got paid or whatever and went out and bought bubble gum and gave it to the people of Detroit so they could still be hungry.
I mean, and we need people like him. We could laugh at all things and laugh at each other. And, you know, I mean, like, even if you go watch the old Chappelle, he was still, like, he was politically poignant back then. We talked about, like, police abusing black people and shit like that. But we all were together on it. We're like, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
We were all politically aware that this was going on. But now the problem is like, now the jokes are over. So now we're just going to be serious about everything all the time. And all we're going to do is talk about how, like, all these injustices are going on. Like, well, yeah, but the problem is that when you're pointing fingers in people's faces and getting all serious about it, people get defensive.
I'll tell you right now, just to take it on a complete serious note, I'm so fucking tired of listening to people bitch that I'm ready for them to just start a shooting war. Let's just take it to the street. You know? Get it out there, get it over with.
It's kind of already started happening, but just without guns. It's almost like if you've ever seen the movie The Warriors, where it's like rival gangs fighting each other, that's what the level it's at right now. They haven't become militarized yet.
That Antifa shit yesterday, were they open carrying firearms? I thought that the back part of the group had some type of semi-automatic weapons. I wish they did. Could you imagine?
But right now it's just, oh god, it'd be...
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out there.
If that's where they want to take it.
I want to take it there.
See, the thing is, I don't want to be the one that made shots fired first.
No.
I don't want to make... I wouldn't want to spill first blood. Let them do it, because they're idiots.
Right. Nobody wants to be the first one, but I do say that I want to watch the first shot happen.
Yeah. Which, like I said, right now, as far as we're concerned, I still think hasn't taken it to the extreme, because they're still fighting with sticks and fucking mace and shit like that. Nothing lethal.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyways. Locks and socks.
Right. Slocks.
Shit we've dealt with at the Factory of Sadness time and time again.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it some more. But, yeah, it's just...
I thought it was funny, that Antifa video yesterday when that whatever happened. Somebody hit somebody and it started a little skirmish and the cops just pulled that Antifa guy off like he was a 6-year-old. Mm-hmm. Soft. They're all like weak and sick looking.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get. But anyways, I mean, and then I saw something the other day, and I've seen this before, but it just made me laugh again. Someone had posted, like, when we start a war with North Korea, they should send all the people that voted for Trump over there to fight. As if you were going to go over there and fight them.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think, and I love, like, how they've tried to, like, position themselves as the individuals who fought in World War II against Nazis and shit. No, it really wasn't you guys. You guys were the ones who were fucking railing against fighting in World War II and shit like that. You weren't the ones wanting to fight Nazis. You were the ones that were wanting to start a socialist revolution in this country while we were trying to fight Nazis. Yeah. It kills me. Like, do you really think you were the ones ever fighting any war where we were trying to beat the bad guy? No. You weren't. Well, poor people and people who lean towards the right, more than likely. Or if they weren't leaning towards the right, they were leaning towards the right by the time they got to the war. Because they realized that, socially... Yeah. We're saying people on the right are dead inside?
No, war.
I'm dead inside.
Oh.
I don't know where I fall on the spectrum, but I'm definitely not like a regular human.
No, not anymore.
That's why, I mean, maybe people on the right are dead inside, but definitely, like, going to, like, war or working in a factory of sadness, that kind of stuff makes you dead.
Yeah.
I think might make you think.
So you're probably double dead.
Well, definitely, the whole thing, like, the wars and working in the factory of sadness, it does take away your humanity a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you have to see wholesale...
See shit for what it really
Yeah,
is.
you get to see wholesale terribleness. Like, you see so much bad things that the good things you don't think of anymore. Like, there's a guy that we worked with at the Factory of Sadness, and he still surprisingly has a sunny disposition. He's only been there about a year, where he thinks he can help people, and he thinks he can change them and make them better human beings. Listen, there ain't no changing nobody at the Factory of Sadness. No. They're always going to be that way. They're always going to be like that. That's all there is to it. I hate to be that dismal about it, but I've worked there long enough to know we ain't changing nothing. Yeah, exactly. Right. It doesn't have that name for no good reason. But once again, we got kind of dark at the end, and I don't like leaving on such a. We got to think of something funny to do right before the show's over with.
It's a dark time.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah. So thank you for the question, St. Catherine. I think we kind of walked off the beaten path again on that one, but.
As we will do.
As we will do. It is something that happens from time to time. But we'd like to thank you guys all for giving us your topics this week. We appreciate them. We appreciate what you do for us. We'd like to thank Dr. Doug Herty for being on the show again. Yes. He's an awesome contributor, and we always like having him. We'd like to thank Ryan Simpson for letting him use our music.
Letting us use his music.
Did I fuck it up again?
It's fine.
Okay, I always fuck it up.
If he's still out there, I haven't heard from him.
Hopefully.
I tried to contact him.
He's gone dark.
We'd like to thank our Patreon contributors.
Yes. Just got a new one today.
Yeah, we got a new one. What is she calling herself on?
I'm just going to go with Agorist Girl.
That's fine. Agorist Girl, thank you for your contribution to the show. Your bumper sticker will be in the mail.
Yes. Agorist Girl.
Yeah.
Evelyn still.
Yeah,
rocking
Evelyn.
out. Jess and Kate.
Check.
It grows daily.
Yeah.
No, I've
No.
tried to make contact once again. Evelyn, I don't know what's going
Evelyn
on.
had a free T-shirt and all sorts of stuff coming her way.
I need you to message me on Patreon so we can get your shirt size and or P.O. box mailing address.
But we changed up our Patreon contributor stuff. So if you check that, you just take a look at it. $2 donation gets you shout-outs on the show. $5 a month gets you shout-out on the show and bumper sticker. And it goes on from there until you get to the point where if you donate enough money, you get to actually be on the motherfucking show.
Yeah, I'll send you some of my hair or like scribbled notes, whatever you want of my personal belongings.
Check out our website, www.bonesandtubs.com. A new LL comic comes up every week from Saint Even.
Yes. The new one's fire.
The new one's going to be up supposedly tomorrow, as Saint Even told me. Check out our Facebook page. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Check out iTunes, Stitcher, Beyond Pod. We're all on all those podcatchers. Send us some reviews on iTunes. I would like that. I know we have iTunes listeners. Send us a review and stars, because the more you do that, the more higher profile we get on iTunes, and then we'll start showing up so randos can just like come across our podcast and be like, I wonder what this fuck shit's about. But
better not be none of that liberal garbage.
none of that stupid shit.
None of that stupid conservative bullshit.
None of that stupid
Racist.
shit.
Misogynist.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening to another episode. Send us those topics, and we'll see you guys next week.
We love you.
We really do.
I think I've gone crazy 'cause the world is getting dim. I fell in love with a girl, but she says we're just friends. I thought I was a boy, it turns out I'm a man. Gonna get me a canoe, gonna row to Japan. I think I've gone crazy 'cause I don't give a shit whether I crawl or whether I sit, but I'm still rowing, gonna make it someday, gonna be free, gonna be okay. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. The newspaper says everything's alright. Vietnam's over, we're doing fine. I think I've gone crazy 'cause it won't stop raining. I've begun to think lately it's 'cause I won't stop complaining. I am a voodoo doll and the world is the pin. I've got a third eye growing out of my chin. I think I've gone crazy 'cause I'm fucking confused. Today I